Special guard of honour to greet Dean Bell as he runs on to a New Zealand playing field for the last time. An illustrious career. 25 tests for New Zealand. Former Wigan captain, 7 Challenge Cup wins, 5 championships. He won the player of the match at Wembley in 17 games this year. He retires to take up a coaching appointment with the Leeds club in England. This is the side that will play tonight for Auckland in this sudden death match for them, really. Namu Hoppe Rapati comes in. Blackmore Kerwin, Alexander Jones Kearney, Eru Platt Betts, Tuamavavi, Bell, and John Money, of course, their coach. That's young Stephen Kearney on camera. Marvellous career for Dean Bell as the Raiders go out, and led out tonight by young Darren Tate. Got his own special problems in life. He wanted dearly to lead his beloved Raiders out, and he travelled over with his mum here to Ericsson Stadium to do that tonight. God bless him. Good on you, Darren. The Raiders tonight, Mullins at the back, and then Nagus, Croker, Wiki, Nandruku in front of him, with Daly and Stewart and Pongia, Walters and Lomax in the front. Hetherington, Ferner, Clyde locks the scrum. Sheens is the coach and Mullins is the fullback. And Kelvin Jeffs is the young referee in charge. I'd say his biggest test to date. The Warriors kick off and over 30,000 fans cheer them on as the Raiders come back. Lomax is the first man to be taken to ground. They needed him in the test series. He lasted 10 minutes. Now he comes up head on against them again tonight. Clyde takes the third play for the Green Machine. 32 out, centre of the ground. Walters, the dummy half, goes for an early run. That doesn't surprise me. They were talking a lot about containing and shutting down Steve Walters and his dummy half running. So cheekily, he takes one on his first handle of the ball, really. And now, back. It's Gene Namu being slammed to the ground.
A tremendous tackle there from Ruben Wiki. Great defender in the centres for the Canberra Raiders. And talking about Steve Walters' dummy half running, the Raiders will need to watch Sid Eru in that department as well. Was outstanding last week and very, very quick out of the dummy half position.
Dennis Betts plays at Eru, talking of him, a dummy half, finds Kearney. And Ricky Stewart involved very much in defence as they go across to the right with Andy Platt now. And Lomax comes in with a swinging right arm over the top. They almost reach the halfway line on that play, and they go back for the reliable boot of Greg Alexander. He lands it on the 10-metre line. Into the in goal it goes. It's with Noah. And Nandruku comes away now to be met there by Jones. He's put down in centre field. The ground feeling the effect of driving rain that has persisted since just after lunch here today. And now it's Croker, who's inside the 20-metre line. Canberra only beaten twice this year by Manly and Cronulla. And they seem destined to finish second on points for and against to Manly as we go into the semi-finals in a fortnight's time. And the penalty, the first of the game, goes to Canberra against Stephen Kearney.
It will be a priority for both teams to play good field position. In these conditions, you want the mistakes from the opposition at their end of the field. Greg Alexander and Ricky Stewart, two very astute kickers. It'll be a good battle out there just to see who can get some superiority. Here's Stewart now. Not an easy kick for touch from the penalty. He picks up about 10 metres.
Canberra just beyond their 30-metre line. They take it up to this enthusiastic defence, and there's a player that brought quite a roar from the crowd as he was introduced tonight, Ruben Wiki, the player they thought they had as they go to the halfway line, and Walters gets a forward almost on the ad line. It's Quinton Ponga who wants to come to the Warriors next year. Seems that the Canberra Raiders will allow that to happen. There's the 40-metre line as Walters comes right for Stewart to dummy and go outside for Daly. And then it's a chase down the line by Nandruku. Namu does well, though. He cleans it up back 2 metres out from his own line. This is John Kerwin now, the great All Black. No marker, learning the game. John Kerwin, very quickly. Wide, play it back where he can pitch meters as simple as that. You don't see that very often with the Raiders, not this early in the game. The 10 underneath the tackle is Andy Platt as they go right across the 20-metre line. But Betts handles before Blackmore gives on. And now the best winger in the game, Sean Hoppy, is over the halfway line. Pulled in by Mullins. Former Canberra Raider is Hoppy. Is Alexander now. He purposefully waits it down. They're going to have to pick it up. And they might get pegged. Oh, they did easily. Well, slow work by Andruku and good chasing by Ropati.
Yeah, wonderful chase by Ropati. The Auckland Warriors a chance to arm early. They went wide on the fourth tackle, deep in their own territory, made a lovely 40-yard run to Hoppy. And if that's an indication of how the game is going to go, we'll see a top game here at Ericsson Stadium tonight.
I've got no doubt, Fatty, that both teams have to do that. They've got great ability and strength out wide. Beautiful pass from Richie Blackmore to his winger, Hoppy. Ray said the best winger in the business. And the reason that we can say that, he's got 18 tries next to his name this year, just one behind Steve Menzies, a real danger man for the New Zealanders.
Namu carries it back to the Raiders from the line dropout. A smashing tackle up the top by Wiki. Daly was underneath, scored 2 and set up 6 against the Gold Coast. Now Tuamavavi streams up the centre. Canberra glaringly fragile up the centre a couple of times already. Through the hands of Jones, it's with Kearney. That's the 20-metre line. 5 minutes gone, no score, but the Warriors looking dangerous. Dean Bell throws a face ball over for Hoppy. Oh, it's so easy. It is easy. That try anyway. Sean Hoppy scores. Dean Bell gave a beautiful pass, but they made it look simple.
Well, they made it look simple, Ray, because Ken Nagus, the number 2, the winger for Canberra, comes in field and leaves his winger unmarked. A lot of cover defence there, but Hoppy, we were just talking about him. Wrong foots 2 and 3 Canberra defenders, then improves the position, but pretty poor wing play by his opponent here.
Well, they never had their line intact, Canberra. That's why the Nagus fella had to come up in the line to try and snuff it out. They didn't have the numbers there, and Hoppy, well done, Rabs, you've called him the best, and that's why. 19th try for the season, got it round near the sticks to make the conversion a lot easier for Namu.
It's amazing they didn't have their line intact there when you look at how many cover defenders they were able to get across.
Well, that's why, Pete, the couple of players are looking to cover defend rather than get up into the line and push the likes of Nagus back out towards the sideline to mark them in.
He might have been a bit harsh on Ken Nagus. He was forced to make a decision. He lined up against the outside centre. It didn't give Hoppy a free run to the line, but he made it look very simple.
So that try for Sean Hoppy takes him back to equal leading try scorer for the year with Stephen Menzies. Steve went past him and John Hopewati joined him last Sunday. As Gene Namu prepares conversion from right in front, and to the glee of the Auckland Warriors supporters, they lead 6-0 over Canberra. Fantastic atmosphere here.
Your staff are waiting for you in the control tower.
Crowd
they want their tickets.
In the area of 30 odd. Very hard to judge. They had 31,000 here for the Brisbane game, which was game 1 at Ericsson. And even though it's rained here today, I will be surprised if they haven't beaten that crowd. Talking of Brisbane, they play them next Sunday at ANZ, and they're leading 6-0 here, so it's another grand final for them coming up, hopefully, for the Auckland Warriors as they get a penalty.
Yes, a great start for the Warriors tonight, and already Canberra have missed 8 tackles. That's in the first few minutes of the match. Must be a worrying aspect to their game for Timmy Sheens.
That was against the marker for not facing up. So Canberra, again, have got a problem with markers not getting there. And this is Andy Platt now, 38 metres away from the Canberra line as they go across to the right and put a run around together with Eru. And then Betts goes into a gap. Another tackle falls off for Canberra. And they're 22 metres out now, right where they want to be. Sid Eru, 15 out. The drums are beating the tune as Tuamavavi goes across and picks up Jones and then Alexander. They cut out a play. They go to Blackmore. Out for Hoppy. And Hoppy is pulled down 10 out on the sideline. They've got the entire width of the ground to work on. They come across halfway. And in the centre of the ground, they find Kearney. 5 gone. They'll probably use the kick on this. And there it is, off the boot of Eru. Nagus falls back. Not held in goal first time, taken second time. The crowd loves it. Another line drop out. More pressure coming up for Canberra.
And what a great advantage it is for a team to have a hooker and a dummy half who can run and do this. Nice little touch there by Eru. The chase wasn't great. Eru missed him, but then they eventually got there, the rest of the Warriors, to hold Nagus in goal. Great pressure by the Warriors.
Now, I actually thought that Nagus put his foot over the dead ball line as well. Would have been an injustice if he got back into the field of play. What about the work from Sean Hoppy 2 rucks earlier, taking the ball one-handed and somehow staying in the field of play? That gave them another 2 tackles that they looked like not getting as Jones takes a drop out, finds Tuimababu.
25 out, centre of the ground, and here they come again, the Warriors, as the drums come again. Now it's Dean Bell, who laid on a lovely pass to put Hoppy in to score. About 3 minutes back into the game. It's a run around again that creates the extras. They come wide. They try and put Namu through the gap out wide. Around about outside centre and wing on the right of the ground. Canberra now gets their line together. Jones decides to run. He's shaped to kick. And now he's held there in the defence of Quentin Pongia and Steve Walters. As Kearney looks on. Eru ducks away from dummy half. 12 out. 5 tackles gone now, and a chance again for the Warriors. They go over to Greg Alexander, and a long pass. Dean Bell gave a flick pass. It comes down for Ricky Stewart. Canberra gets some relief from the pressure. The unmistakable running style of David Furner carries them to the 20-metre line. Met by Betts and Tuimababu. And now Canberra gets a penalty.
And a timely penalty it is. The Raiders, they've been down this end of the field the majority of the game. That's 10 minutes. It has elapsed, so they've spent a lot of time down here defending. Furner struggling to get to his feet, was held down. Ricky Stewart just laying down the law to his players. Now they need a good set of 6 and a good couple of minutes here just to get the show back on the road.
So the Raiders, who've won 9 and lost 1, that's their away record, 9-1. That away loss was to Cronulla Sutherland. Good driving tackle again, sitting the Raiders back on their heels, and now Croker tries to put a fend in the face of Richard Blackmore. He makes the tackle with Sean Hoppy. They're 10 metres into the Warriors area as Stewart turns them back into the centre for young Hetherington. And 35 metres away now from the Warriors line, the Raiders actually get their first sight of attacking territory. A kick and chase, and then almost a regather for Daly. It's turned around by Jones.
Did enough there, John Kerwin. It was a dangerous kick because it found open spaces from Laurie Daly. Kerwin didn't regather the ball cleanly, but he knocked it back for his halfback, and it diffused a pretty dangerous situation. The number 5 realises the danger, knocks the ball out of Daly's hands, and it's gone back.
It's in superlative form, Laurie Daly. He's going to need to be. These people are pumped up here. Tuimababu hit by Clyde. There's Daly on camera. As I said, he played a part in 8 tries against the Gold Coast. As Kearney gets a ball out the back, and they can't take it in. And the referee, Kelvin Jeff, says play on. Stewart it is, who plays it for Clyde. And now Hetherington comes inside the 40-metre line and beyond. And that is one area that Auckland has been found short on in a couple of games we've seen this year. Pongia it is. Loses it, and Betts gives it on. They come off to the left wing. Kerwin is there, so is Daly. And Kerwin will play it on his 40-metre line. I was going to make the point, in the last 10 minutes of each half, we've seen Auckland, I won't say run out of puff, but they've fallen off their intensity. It fell off their intensity, and they're going to have to keep that up tonight. They're on the halfway line now. Eru.
Doing a good job, the Warriors, of getting men in to tackle them 3 and 4 at times and still popping the ball out the back. Really puts a lot of pressure on defensive lines as Stacey Jones shapes the kick. Tried to pass, it's been knocked down by the Raiders, so it's 6 again.
Kearney quick to capitalise on that. And each of the Warriors aware that they've got 5 more tackles on this set. Passing at close quarters finds Andy Platt. Charging up to the 30-metre line. This will be a penalty, I think, or has he found it? Or Pongia's Got some claret coming from a cut on the left eye, so it'll be blood bin for him.
Good clash there. Andy Platt, as usual, running straight and hard. And Tonga, who's been in great form for the Raiders, heading off for a few stitches. David Wesley, the man to come on.
A show of the strength of Canberra. Duvico's had a splendid year, so has Wesley, and they're on the bench. I put it to you that this is nearly Canberra's best side on the park now. Just a question mark on whether Hetherington would hold his spot. But that would probably be the only question I can think of. The ball goes loose. There's an opportunity for Daly. He didn't know whether to make the tackle or pick up the ball. He did the former. And it's played by Greg Alexander. Adversaries over a long period of time. This is John Kerwin on 5. They're 38 out from the Canberra line. Zeru goes to Alexander, who keeps it low and punches it down into the in goal. And Nandruku again has to bring it back. He does so this time. Gets through 2. Taken in the 3rd. 8 metres out from his line. Noah a little bit quicker to react that time. Mullins puts his hand up for work now.
This is a superb kicking performance from Greg Alexander. Every time he has put ball to boot, he has found space, got it into the in-goal area, and here is a very strong tackle that's led to a knock-on.
Oh, yeah, I think it's Dennis Betts. He crunched him. Great tackle. Andy Platt, his fellow countryman, comes in and says, "Well done, lad." Ricky Stewart gets out.
Is the recipient.
Great shoulder. Perfectly legal.
Ricky has just flopped back and very groggy. Referee has said there is nothing in the tackle as far as he's concerned other than a legal shot. Ricky Stewart, he's a tough little rooster. He's hard to hurt, but when you run onto the point of Dennis Betts' shoulder, that hurts. Stewart seems okay now. I'm wondering whether the gravity of the hit was as dramatic as it was made to look. They go across through Rupati and find the other centre, Blackmore. A display of strength. He loses it behind him. And it's with Sean Hoppy, who's rounded up by Jason Croker. They're on the right of the ground as they come back through Namu and now Bell. And Dean Bell, who captains them tonight. Playing his final game, he'll coach Leeds. Playing his final game on New Zealand soil, I should say. Alexander channels Betts back in field. The big men have him. I saw Stewart come in and have a little snipe in the pack play. The 3rd tackler. And a penalty goes to Auckland right in front. 18 out. John Lomax told to quieten it. Namu should add a further 2.
Things not going well here for the Canberra side. They must have no idea what the other end of the ground looks like, because all the game has been down in this 20-metre area. The referee has laid down the law to the players. He says the next one to go for this offence will go all the way to the sin bin. Pretty easy conversion here of the penalty for Gene Namu to extend the lead to 8, and that's a good lead in these conditions. What about the battle in the centres? 4 of the best defenders in the competition for mine. Croker, Wiki, Rapati and Blackmore. A great battle out there.
Yeah, you see Ricky Stewart there. Dennis Betts was the man who shoulder charged him a minute ago, and Stewart came in with a little right cross as a comeback.
He's still not that well, Ricky Stewart. Down receiving attention behind the defensive line. There near the posts.
So Gene Namu, who lives under the veil of the knowledge that Matthew Ridge will be with the Warriors, and there's Namu getting the 2. A further 2, and how important will they be in these conditions? The Warriors 8-0 over the champions Canberra.
Namu takes the 2.
So back at Ericsson Stadium in Auckland, the home side leading 8-0 over Canberra. It's a must-win game for Auckland. And of course, it's a must-win game then next Sunday. They're doing fine at the moment. They're leading 8-0. They're getting quick play of the balls. They've caught Canberra without markers a couple of times, and their kicking game has been a highlight. John Mooney has got the performance from his team that he wanted. Mind you, if he couldn't get it tonight, he was never going to get it. The euphoria incredible in this city. Rugby league, in the 25 years I've been coming here, has made great inroads into rugby territory and rugby interest. 25 years makes you scared.
It's a long time, Ray, as Chewy Mavavi. It's a left footer in. Nolan's in perfect position for the rush kick. Chases again, very, very good. 6, 7, 8 in line.
They're just doing everything right at the moment. The Warriors, Canberra, have been starved of possession. And the defence of the Warriors has been terrific as well.
Evasive running by Ken Nagus has carried him out to his own 40-metre line. And now it's Wesley, who's out there for Quentin Pongia, who suffered a very bad head gash. Canberra getting a bit of a roll together. They were the two quickest play the balls they've had in the match. Bradley Clyde, he made a point of getting a story into the New Zealand papers about the length of time the Warriors hold you down in tackles. Now, Namu held, they're unable to do much with him.
And again, that was very good work from John Kerwin. Namu stood up, that made him an easier target to go back into the in-goal area. 2 Canberra defenders there. Kerwin realised that he was needed. Came up with some good help there. See here, Namu stands up. Wiki trying to pull him back in, and Kerwin, it goes slow to it.
There's a little knock on in here, detected by Kelvin Jeffs, and this is going to give Canberra their best attacking opportunity. That's how close to the line. It's on the covered grandstand side of Ericsson, formerly known as Mount Smart, as they go out to their 5'8" Laurie Daly, and he's met and driven down. The defensive performance so far has been great. They've picked up where they left off with Canterbury the other night. Ruben Wiki plays it 7 metres away from the Auckland line, and Stewart shows it, then goes wide, and the pass has taken the sting out of the attack for Jason Croker. David Furner, a dummy half, beats one, takes them on, and he's failed about 2 metres out. Not even that. Walters has to be watched, a dummy half. He comes right. Stewart goes along the line. Daly turns it in. Clyde hits it up the centre. Daly's there. Daly puts it over the line. Oh, what a combination. What understanding between Daly and Clyde.
And that's all that the Raiders need, is a little bit of field position.
Number
The
6,
pass from
Laurie Daly
Steve
gets
Walters
points on
from
the board
dummy
for the
half
Canberra
was
Raiders.
absolutely beautiful.
Now
The
4.
speed, getting it to Stewart as quickly as he could, the long cutout pass, that gave them a bit of space. The inside run from Bradley Clyde, he attracts a couple of defenders, and the simple offload to Laurie Daly. But a lot of it stemmed from the dummy half pass to give them space.
Yeah, I've got my doubts over this last pass by Clyde. That's dead set gone forward. You can see from that angle perfectly. Referee was in line, and he has declared it was okay. No cover defence there from the Warriors, no fullback. And,
I think in fairness, Paul, that's
a bad angle.
Well, the camera that gave us that shot is down behind the dead ball line, shooting at about 30 degrees.
okay, we might have another angle.
David Furner from right in front will convert the try just scored by Laurie Daly. We'll make it 8-6. We'll go for another replay to show you, to show the fat man whether it was or wasn't. It's 8-6 Auckland, 22 gone. And here it is, the pass coming up. The one that Paul questions is the one from Clyde. Not this one, this one. Watch it. No, I don't think it's forward.
I've seen worse ones let go.
No, okay.
Well, don't drop your bundles.
No, I'm not just...
Oh,
I
won't
thought
hear
it,
from him for 10 minutes.
I thought it did look a bit. No dramas. Let's go.
Pick that dummy up off the floor, would you please, Sterlo, and give it back to
you
him.
blokes are never wrong.
20 metres out from their own line, and it is with Wesley now in the 28 for Canberra. 8-6. I've got to ask the question, Peter, have you known too many sides in rugby league in your day that can look to be weathering an awful storm, a gale force storm, and then so easily they just put the ball over your line?
That's why they're a champion side, Ray. And the thing about them is that you can never relax. For the full 80 minutes, you've got to be on your mettle. Makes no difference if you're on your own line, if you've got the ascendancy in the game. This Canberra Raiders team have the ability to hurt you at any time from anywhere.
So G. Namu it is on the carry back, and he's brought down about 15 out from his own line. Kerwin has gone across quickly, and they run away from him. Stacey Jones, this nippy little halfback, brings it away. 10 metres gained, easy ground, and this is Dean Bell now. Sideru going into dummy half and getting Andy Platt out beyond the 30-metre line. 8-6 in favour of the Auckland Warriors over Canberra, and here is Dennis Betts. Haven't they got some names in their ranks? Betts and Platt, just to mention two. And now Namu gets his kick in. Hetherington it was, coming through for a charge down. Mandruku, he can be an enigma. I remember his first year in the league, he was just sensational, and then all of a sudden we started to see that Noah could do things as brilliantly wrong as he did them right. 30 metres out from the Canberra line now.
Yes, now Andy Platt has been called out here by referee Jeffs. A high tackle on Bradley Clyde, who's hitting the ball up, and Platt came in with what looked like a swinging arm. And for the Warriors trying to keep Canberra in their own territory, it's not good.
There's no doubt about the tackle. It is in contact across the lip area of Brad Clyde, and it will bring a penalty. As Wesley comes off, Pongia goes back on. Ricky Stewart has a fairly deliberate chat with the referee. Pongia, some running repairs, Greg Clark.
That's right, Ray. Yeah, he has 5 stitches to that cut over the eye, but really danger signs now for Auckland. You mentioned before that they have this bad habit of falling off in the 10-minute period before half-time and full-time. They can't afford to do that against this classy green machine, and I think this crowd has really got to get behind the Warriors like they did in the opening minutes.
This is Pongia now, strapped up around the forward area, 38 metres away from the Auckland line, and Stewart lets a decoy go in the shape of Hetherington, picks up Furner, and they've gained another 8 metres. Centre of the ground, 32 away. They've got a good blind side to work on as Clyde comes away from it, though. Now, Mullins is lurking menacingly about 2 passes off the ruck. They might go back in looking for him. Hetherington up the centre as the Auckland attention was focusing on the runners. Like Mullins, he's on the inside of Stewart. Here's the cross kick from Stewart. Mullins got hampered as he tried to pursue it. Kearney comes down with it, and I've got to say that should have been a penalty, and Mullins is appealing for it. His appeal went unheard. It is a sweet play. It's an old chestnut. Watch Mullins, immediate right of Stewart, and watch them just take him out of it. Should have been a penalty for Canberra, allowed to go by referee Jeff.
There's no doubt there Stephen Kearney was the man who interfered with the Canberra fullback as Jones again picks up some good metres. Good ball, Kerwin.
Here's the big fella! Kerwin down the sideline. Ricky tried to take him with a swinging arm tight tackle. Jones metres down the sideline. Chip and chase, looks for the regather. It's off Canberra. It'll be a scrum feed and loose head for the Warriors.
Well, when the Warriors have gone to the flanks, they have found some space on both sides of the football field. This occasion they found it down the left-hand side. A great take by Kerwin, reached back for that one. Beautiful stuff. Used his speed and power. Wiki came from behind. And then great foresight here by the little halfback in Jones. Little one did it all on his own.
Yes, and he didn't have much space to work in.
Now Rapati. Phil Blake is on. He couldn't be on at a better time either. As Namu is upended into the grass by Furner. Eru goes to the right. Gil Mavavi is tackled. They're 8 metres out. They've used 3 by my count. Bell. Stewart came up out of the line, and Bell takes it to within 5 metres of the line. 8-6 in favour of the Warriors. They come to the left, and Blake is in the play, as is Alexander, and Betts, and the ball has been knocked down. John Kerwin, he was in to score, and Nandruku, like a thief in the night, has stopped a try.
Have a look at this ball from Dennis Betts. This one there, beautiful pass to Rapati, and Nandruku, he threw the big hand out. Baseball glove,
Change for the Raiders, number
knocked it
27,
down,
Luke
and that
David
saved the
Cohen.
try. They win the scrum, the Warriors.
One for number 10,
So they
Johnny
go
Irwin.
back and launch another attack. Namu plays it inside the 20, and Alexander, he goes to the right, where again it's Hoppy on Nagus, and Hoppy comes back and around. There was no defence, so no Shepherd. They're 20 metres out. They're back where they want to be. Namu uses bets again. Oh, that is a blockbuster of a tackle by Wiki. Now they come the blind. Kearney goes in off the left foot. He's got Betts with him and Platt. He gives it out. It's with Tuamavavi, and he's pulled down by Pongia. Again, the Warriors trying to puncture this line. Blackmore knocked down by Nagus. This will be another Warriors feed and loose head.
It's a knockdown-a-thon by the wingers. They're on fire in that department, but it's plenty of tackles now adding up. What about that from Wiki?
Too many missed tackles from Canberra, allowing players to get on the outside, and that's creating the space out wide. Another scrum win. Sean Hoppy off Alexander, taken high by Mullins. 11 out. 5 tackles up their sleeve.
In front by 2, the Warriors. We're coming up to half-time as Andy Platt is put away. 5 metres out, centre of the ground. Personnel on the left. That's where they're going. Alexander, a dummy. Then he changes the direction. Namu uses Eru. Eru tries to go through the traffic. He's 5 out, and Blake is the dummy half. Here goes Blake. Blake goes for it himself, and he's pulled down. 2 metres out on 5. Eru, Alexander, he puts it in, but it goes over the dead ball line. Great defence by Canberra. How many tackles is that?
Oh, 100. It all comes to nothing. Great defence by the Raiders. They kept coming up, spreading in defence, putting the pressure on. Plenty of pressure here on Alexander. 20 tackles in a row.
And that's what they had to start doing, Canberra, putting pressure on the kicker as David Wesley again puts his hand up for some work. Hetherington, the player, leaving.
And Gavin Hill on the football field for the Warriors. Tony Tuamavave is the man who's having a rest.
See there how disappointed Greg Alexander was that he didn't get the ball into the in-goal area. He knew that the Raiders were about to get busted. They could just get another 6 against them. Obviously a planned move from John Mooney coming into the game that the first player off is going to be Stacey Jones. I actually thought Jones was close to their best player out there while he was on, so it was a plan that Mooney has obviously stuck to.
Well, now we find the Warriors are in that last 10 minutes of the first half. And Canberra launching an attack that will see Namu. Oh, knock on in face of goal. And now Canberra, they get the loosened feed.
And Kerwin must have been horribly close to being offside here as well. Oh no, he'd gone back behind the player.
But, you know, football on the ground, slippery conditions, those sort of mistakes are always going to happen on nights like tonight, and this might be to the Raiders' advantage right here.
And Nandruku has gone off his blind side wing to get involved. You've got Daly with Mullen straight behind him, and Nandruku looking to get involved also.
Daly serves up a short ball. Ruben Wiki is almost through. 2 metres out, the Warriors in trouble. They go now to the left, and Daly works with Stewart. He's shut down by Namu, who came up and umbrellaed him back in. And now Kelvin Jeffs has ordered a knock on against Ricky Stewart. So the Warriors crowd, needless to say, very, very happy with that ruling. Stewart argues about it. Did he get some help down by the feet of the player on the ground? Greg Alexander, was it? Yes.
I really liked the play from the scrum win. It was so simple. We pointed out the fact that Nandruku had gone across to get involved, so too had Mullins. They were all decoys just for a simple pass off from Laurie Daly to Wiki, and it nearly opened up a gap.
Sean Hoppy is put down on an early tackle on a new set of 6 for the Warriors. They have to carry this narrow lead into half-time. They can't let Canberra in for more points. Now, just inside the 30-metre line, Blackmore plays it, and they run from dummy half. That should bring a penalty, surely.
No, Ferner didn't get involved. It was good work from the second rower.
Yeah, but he wasn't directly in front, Peter. Alexander puts the kick in. It bounces inside the 30-metre line. Nandruku carries it back from the 20. Mullins falls back into the line. And now Nandruku is wrestled down by two of the Warriors. Mullins hasn't had really an opportunity. Oh, look at these tackles. They are smashing tackles. And that was by Kearney on Clyde. They're very aggressive, the Warriors. Pongia just outside the 40-metre line. One try apiece. The Warriors leading by a lone goal. Stewart goes over for Wiki. Wiki is met by Dennis Betts, and they pile in, three of them, to complete the tackle. Kearney got involved as well. Now, it's with the blind side, and Stewart, without very much room to work in, a narrow corridor, and Namu brings it out from the in goal. Namu got out to the 10-metre line, Kerwin's the dummy half.
Well, that was an unbelievable kick from Ricky Stewart. He gave himself no room to work with. It was deliberate. He'd gone back to the blind side, just threaded the needle, got it into the in-goal area. Gene Namu did a pretty good job to get 10 metres out, milking a penalty there, Kerwin. It didn't work.
He's worked pretty hard tonight, Ricky Stewart. He's come up with 13 tackles, which leads their tackle count. The captain.
Talking of captains, Dean Bell almost able to slide a pass off for Blake. And Blake would have been into open space with only Mullins in front of him. Auckland have got Gavin Hill out there now. As they go outside the 40-metre line, Eru's kick has turned Mullins around. Mullins knocks it backwards. Everybody's onside. Whoever wants to come to the party can now. Nagas comes back in field away from his sideline, and Eru, who was the kicker, has done very well. Put everybody onside, made the tackle and everything. Croker takes a tackle around the throat, and that was Dean Bell. Walters is there now. As they come to the right, and Stewart goes across the face. Daly turns it in, and that is Wesley. Wesley, the ball goes down. It's a scrum. I don't know that it got any help. I thought he was trying to push the pass.
Some good aggressive defence here by the Warriors. They've tackled that way all night. Alexander and Betts involved. Alexander comes again here, but no, he's just dropped it cold.
Given these conditions, though, it's been a tremendous performance by both sides in the handling department. We've seen a passage of play where Canberra's defence was tested for 20 tackles. That was one of the highlights of it. The work of Hoppy early in the game. And of course the big tackles of Betts and Wiki. Platt is tackled 31 out. Like an arrowhead, the attack lines up, and Gavin Hill takes it ahead. He's the player to drop out of the run on side. Rapati came in, Bell went to the forwards. Kearney went forward in the pack. And now it's Rapati again. 20 metres out, they can't put him away. Gets it on, Alexander for Kerwin. Canberra comes across, 4 of them to put Kerwin away. 5 tackles gone, Alexander's ready for the kick. Oh, the dummy half, Blake has made a meal of it.
I'm just wondering whether Laurie Daly had a hand in there. He was lying in the play the ball area. The dummy half looking to get out of there quickly. There's Daly.
Yep.
He's hit the ball for sure.
You're quite right. It's a dead set penalty to the Warriors. Instead of that, Canberra come up with it. The 2 glaring errors. I'm not blaming the referee. He's got 2 blokes out there called touch judges. But don't forget, up the other end of the park, Canberra should have got a penalty as well on the incident involving Brett Mullins. So, under the heading of glaring errors, it's tit for tat at the moment. 30 metres away from the Canberra line. And this is David Wesley again. As the drums beat out the tune. Pongi is knocked on. That was so simple. Now, aggressive tackle, was it necessary?
Well, the last 3 times Canberra have had the football, they haven't held onto it for 6 tackles. This must be worrying Coach Tim Sheens as Brad Clyde's off to the blood bin for some repairs. Hetherington going back on.
DeVico's out there as well for the Raiders.
It's a very interesting scrum with 2 1/4 minutes of the first half remaining. And they're 5 metres inside Canberra's territory. As Alexander plays the ball, Blackmore is the runner. Blackmore gains 5 metres. Total tackle counts. Canberra, if they're looking tired, I'll tell you why. They've been asked to make about 25% more tackles than Auckland. 138 to 106. Across for Betts. He looks inside, takes them on himself, and Wesley takes him to ground. Eru pushes across left for Alexander to go on. Bell waits and then throws the dummy. Now they go back into the centre. Kearney is over the 20-metre line, and that's where he's put away, with Pongia up the top and Ferner down below. The kick is on. Blake is with it. He puts it into the corner, and Hoppy comes down, but Mullins runs it over the in goal. So it's a line drop out again.
And with less than 1.5 minutes to go in this first half, that was the right play from Mullins. No chances at all. Got in behind Nagus. Chase was pretty good again. Quentin Pongia's performance out there has been inspirational for the Raiders as well. I thought he was struggling early on. Comparative lack of match fitness compared to some players out there with his injury problems, but he's doing plenty of work.
Canberra bringing the wrath of the crowd as they soak up time. 1:06 on the clock as we go back down the ground with the low angle shot and the ball bouncing on the 40-metre line, with Gavin Hill taking it back to the 30. He did better than that. From the time he picked it up, he made 15, and there's no markers. He doesn't worry about that. They go back and across for Namu, taken in a sandwich tackle. Now they're 20 metres out. DeVico is on for Canberra. Bell looking to pull players around him, and he's put down there by a no-nonsense tackle by Luke DeVico. Bell not happy. Now it's with Kearney, and Kearney, one of the players that really has to be watched. They're 10 metres out, and they have a chance. It came off Canberra, came off Auckland, and now over the dead ball line. It'll be interesting to see what Kelvin Jeffs does with this. He's going to order the line drop out. It all happened far too quickly. No knock on by Eru is the ruling. It's come off, I guess, the torso or the head area. But the line drop out, more pressure. Again, let's look at the clock. Only seconds remaining. This will be the last play. John Kerwin uses Ropati. Alexander chimes in, tries to go between them, puts the ball down, and that should signal the end of the first half, and does. A magnificent first half of football, played on a greasy pitch, and 8 points to 6, the Warriors. It's their personal grand final. A try apiece. Auckland leading at half-time by 2 points. Cronulla playing the Sydney City Roosters, but we go into the second half of this, and if the second half is as good as the first, it is going to be sheer rugby league entertainment. Just outside the 20-metre line, Gavin Hill is still on for the Warriors, and now Dean Bell getting through plenty of work in his farewell game on New Zealand soil. And this is Andy Platt. As Paul said, he leads the hit-ups and the tackles. 8-6 with Auckland out on their 40-metre line. Now it's with Stephen Kearney. He's away from the tackle by Quentin Pongia. Platt joins in as a decoy on the left. Now it's with Nandruku. Nandruku tries to get a pass in rather foolishly. Now it'll be interesting to see which way this has gone in relation to that sideline. Jeff's asked the question. Daly has a confident look on his face. Nandruku, let's see, was it pushed out or did he actually try to pass? It was the tackle of Kerwin. And that ball has come away from the Warriors. So that's why Daly was looking quite confident about the outcome. So the Raiders now, as they press on towards the halfway line, and this is DeVico. Greg Clark is our sideline eye here tonight. Greg's been in the Auckland dressing room.
Yes, Ray, John Mooney pretty happy with the first half, obviously, but he wants more support of the ball carry, especially in the Canberra 20-metre zone. He wants better execution with their set moves. Happy with defence, but wants more hit-ups. And he says if you put in another top 40 minutes, you might get to play in another grand final next weekend. Stacey Jones back on in 15 minutes. Tim Shees wants field position. He wants to slow the Warriors, play the balls down, get the big kick and chase game in. Pongia 5 stitches, in fact, and Steve Walters a bit of a crook shoulder, which is interesting. They need him out there.
Well, it wouldn't come through on the tackle count, Greg. Steve Walters is really put that shoulder to the wheel. 18 tackles, and he tops the tackle count. But the report from the dressing rooms is that he's got a tender shoulder. Steve Walters, the Australian hooker.
He actually stayed down for a couple of tackles while the Raiders were under threat, so you knew that he was hurt. In his usual style, he's just battled it out, and you wouldn't expect him to be leaving the field. There's a penalty against the Raiders. The crowd have been calling for this all night, and at times, I must admit, Kelvin Jeffs has been fairly liberal with the 10 metres for both sides.
Having said that, Peter, he hasn't fallen into the trap that you might expect from a young referee, to be refereed by the crowd.
Oh no, not critical of his performance. And now and then both teams just looking to sneak inside, just to put a bit more pressure on the attacking team.
41 metres out from their own line now. The Warriors leading 8-6. Their try was scored by Sean Hoppy. Canberra's by Laurie Daly. Good gain in ground has taken them now down to the 40-metre line for Rapati. Be flung down by Ricky Stewart. Stewart also had a busy first half in the defence count. Took a very heavy tackle from Dennis Betts. The last tackle, and Alexander drives it across the ground. Namu, oh, look out! No, they've saved it. Well, Mullins has saved it.
How close was that to a Warriors try? They had another man there, the Warriors, but it was Mullins. There's Nadruku who drops it. Rapati, the man there, and Mullins saved a certain 6 points.
He's having a tough night with his hands. Noah Nadruku going for the Australian rules mark, wasn't successful. And a great pickup from Mullins, who not only saved the try, but was looking to get back into the field of play. Great drop out there. Namu picks it up on his own 30-metre line.
I don't think you'll see a bigger drop kick than that in rugby league for quite some time, indicating to me that that breeze is still quite evident from right to left as we watch it. It's been gale force during the afternoon, and Andy Platt has been near enough to gale force with his hit-ups. 40 metres out from the line, Eru goes over, picks up Betts, and Betts puts a little step into his approach. 30 metres out, they need to be the club that scores next. They go inside, Hoppy is with it. Sean Hoppy wrestled down by Walters and DeVico. Alexander probing, always testing them. Over on the right of the ground is Noah again. And now, more and more, you'll see the Warriors go to that wing. This is Brad Clyde stepping across the 20-metre line, throwing a dummy. And he saw Noah on his outside. He opted to keep it, and now a penalty. Penalty goes to the Raiders. I mentioned earlier that Brad Clyde, in a press interview here in their major papers, was making the point and probably trying to get the message over to Kelvin Jeffs that he thinks the Warriors hold down in the tackles. John Money was quick to respond, saying that experienced players like Clyde use the papers as their own devices. So, an exchange of words preceding this game. Now it's with Ruben Wiki. 31 metres out from the Auckland line, and Canberra, a wide and deep across to the left. They pepper away in the centre, though. And it's Ferner, who's 25 metres away from the line. No markers. And Ferner, quick to capitalise, is 9 metres out now. So the Raiders, they set up. And Stewart puts his hands in the air, appealing for a penalty. He now pushes on for Daly. Daly's into space, and it's a try, reminiscent of the grand final. He's reached out and put it over. Daly scores his second.
And again, a little piece of magic from Laurie Daly, capitalising on the good work from David Ferner up the middle of the ruck. He didn't panic, Daly. He looked like he was going to score easily. The defence arrived. Ferner here picks up a great 15 metres, gets it. I thought it should have been a penalty. Dean Bell really going on with the tackle. Daly throws the dummy, and just watch him reach out at the end. He kept his head and got the ball down just on the line. In fact, he loses it.
Daly has put it down.
Oh, no.
Yeah, good one, Stella. It's amazing, you know, Kelvin just, he didn't consult his in-goal judge here. He signalled this try straight away. He was very confident there was a try. It's been lost. It wasn't regained before he forced it.
Well, he kept his head, Laurie. He didn't tell the referee he'd knocked on.
Well, the referee was unsighted. I mean, let's put that in there first. The bloke in the in-goal.
Well, I'm telling you, Rabs, he did not even look at the in-goal judge.
Well, then that is stupid. For a young bloke in a situation like that, you'd check with everybody. Well, listen to the crowd now. They're not impressed. Unfortunately, the referee has to wear it. But as Paul said, he didn't look at the in-goal judge, so he probably deserves it. So, a break after a controversial try that was really a no try. 10-8 Canberra. Minutes gone, second half. Welcome back to Ericsson. And if you think the Warriors were inspired coming into the game, they're going to be doubly so now. They know that a try has been given that wasn't a try. Record says that it was Davico. Well, that's a shame if that gets in the road of a fair result here, particularly given the plight of the Warriors. 2 points taken off them for using too many replacements against the Magpies. And now a try allowed that shouldn't have been. 10-8 Canberra. Just inside the 20-metre line, the Warriors can do one of two things now. They can let that linger in their mind and lose their concentration, lose their focus, or they can grit the teeth and try even harder. This is Betts. I don't think this crowd will let them lose focus. Gavin Hill is just outside the 40-metre line. Stacey Jones still not out there, even though probably the greatest half of all time is scratching his noggin in the broadcasting box, wondering why he's not out there. Mullen is 41 out from his line. 10-8. The Raiders, 50 minutes gone. Loose ball. Betts has recalled it. The crowd went up. They stood up as a man. They don't know that the referee blew his whistle immediately. Now, who's the most unpopular man at Ericsson?
Well, the decision was right. The marker moving much too quickly. Richie Blackmore knocking the ball down anyway.
Ladies and gentlemen, this week's lucky winner of an official match ball signed by the DB Bitter Warriors team
Canberra
is sitting in Bay 1, row K, seat 1. Congratulations.
Laurie Daly, scorer of both Canberra tries, finding the line 30 metres away now from the Warriors line. Capacity crowd. Great atmosphere. This makes everybody feel like working. Pongia is slammed down, 21 out. Canberra score next. They have in the past, once they've got into the ascendancy, just gone on and embarrassed teams. And here they are with Ruben Wickie chiming in. 10 metres out from the line. Stewart comes across. Daly waits and then gives it. Furner goes for it. Furner puts it down. And again, from where we watch it, it looks like a try.
I don't think there's any doubt about this one. And beautiful hands, firstly on the far side from Ricky Stewart, giving the ball to Wesley to make some ground. And this pass from Laurie Daly, they always had the numbers. Daly going to the defence, Bell coming in. Blackmore's got no idea where to go. He came in too late. By that time, David Furner had gone through the hole. Beautiful, draw the man and pass.
Could the owner
They really are having trouble adjusting in defence now, the Warriors. They're getting tired, getting behind on the scoreboard. Laurie Daly, what a match he's having. Scored 2 tries, a nice little pass for that one for David Furner, who has really come alive in this second half.
Yeah, I think he could cause the Warriors some more problems before this game is over. David Furner up the middle of the ruck. Very deceptive runner. This time just running into the hole, offered. Blackmore drops off the tackle. And Furner pounds the ball down.
Good
no doubt about that one. But I'm sure that the last try had to knock around the Warriors as well, and that's disappointing. Deflates you when you get a decision that goes against you like that and gives the opposition the lead in a game that you've been doing so well in.
David Furner, Churchill medalist in the grand final. Great success on the Kangaroo Tour. Looking to do another lap of honour this year. Here he is, 19 out on a reasonably gentle angle, but he's missed it. So he's having an unhappy night. 14-8, the Raiders over the Warriors. So welcome back. Greg Alexander's kickoff starting us into the 53rd minute. And Pongia goes back with enthusiasm to be met by Hill and Betts. Just beyond the 20-metre line, that's always a good effort. DeVico groans as the tackle takes him high. And now they punch it up the centre through Wesley.
And if the Warriors were deflated by that try awarded, and it should have been a no try, they'll gain some solace by the fact they are only 6 behind now. David Furner missing a couple of conversion attempts, so just the one converted try in it. And that's Namu tackled 3 metres in, 13 out from his own line. And Kerwin coming infield, although Hoppy decides to take the ball from dummy half himself, bumps out of 2 players, gets over the 20-metre mark.
This is Blackmore. 35 metres away from his own line. Alexander stays out of it. They want another forward play. And Betts it is. Dennis Betts. 8 metres from the halfway line. Andy Platt carries it forward. Dean Bell is slammed into the ground by the Canberra 28, David Wesley. 5 gone as Alexander gets a kick in, but there's danger here. This is Luke DeVico. 30 metres out from the Warriors line.
Oh, great work, Ricky Stewart, getting to Greg Alexander. The ankle tap as he was about to kick. Now his first receive and a long pass. Brad Clyde takes it, but then loses the ball.
That was knocked down by the Warriors, but they've come up with it. It was knocked out and backwards for them. Played by Blackmore. Dean Bell goes away from dummy half. Right on the 30-metre line. He plays it back, and Eru with a good run out from dummy half. 5 or 6 metres from the halfway. Blake is out there. And Gavin Hill almost losing it. Players gone 6 metres into Canberra's half now. They lead by 6 points. As Dennis Betts tries to step inside the defence and through the centres. 35 out on the 5th tackle with Greg Alexander running a few paces and then putting everybody on side, and he's the first one to go for the jump. Mullins came away with it, and now they've got outside them with Croker putting on a sprint, but Gene Namu brings him down. Copybook rugby league tackle.
Both number ones doing tremendous work there. Mullins was great, fielding the kick under pressure and then picking up some metres for his side. Namu tries over his Clyde, make an uncharacteristic mistake.
Well, that's the break that the Warriors needed. Only the second tackle for the Raiders, and Clyde into touch. Strong tackle. They are starting to miss a lot of tackles, the Auckland Warriors. Richie Blackmore.
So changes being made for the Warriors. Blake is coming off, and Jones has gone back on. Tua Mavavi has also gone back on, and Gavin Hill has come off. So John Money now making those changes that Greg Clark told us he would after 15 minutes of the second half. Turned in by Bell. Tua Mavavi quickly into the action, but Clyde takes him out of it with Croker. They're on the halfway line. 14-8 Canberra by a converted try. Could have been much greater if Furner had his kicking boots on, but then again we come back to the try allowed to Laurie Daly. Blackmore gets it in field. Good ball. Kearney's able to Drop the ball out the back. Alexander on. Jones with it. Jones ridden into the ground by Wesley. 5 gone now for the Warriors. Eru goes over for Alexander. And then it's G. Namu who gets it back to one of the Raiders. And it's Ricky Stewart who comes up with it. I was about to make the point that some of the adventure had gone out of the Warriors' play, but there was certainly nothing lacking in that department then. They mustn't lose that adventure if they're to beat Canberra. Penalty goes to the Raiders, and they too are getting players ready to come back on. John Lomax for one and Brett Hetherington another, as you see the reason for the penalty.
Greg Alexander apologising to his captain Dean Bell, saying he couldn't get off. Pongia coming from the field. He has been outstanding tonight. Lomax going on. David Ferner also coming off. Brett Hetherington, the starting second rower, back on there. The Raiders with the tap kick, 39 out from their own line.
So this engrossing battle goes on. Still a long way from over. On the timepiece, in fact, 21.5 minutes. But 6 points the difference. The Warriors can still do it. Here's Clyde.
Greg Clark, we're a long way from the ground up here in the commentary box. The conditions out there, are they conducive to a field goal attempt? Would Stewart or Daly maybe look to put the 1 point over?
Well, I know that just before half-time, some of the Warriors support staff were wondering why they didn't have a crack at 1 point there, so they obviously think a 1-pointer is on. And no, there's a couple of bad patches that you can see on the screen from time to time, but it's on for Stewart, that's for certain.
Well, Stewart waits this ball into the in goal, and Sean Hoppy didn't even think about it. He just took it in and took it across the dead ball line. So the Warriors will give the football back to Canberra, and a couple of the Warriors forwards slowly and more slowly as the match draws on getting back to the play.
There's a couple of hands on hippers out there for the Warriors, and the Raiders really starting to wear down the Warriors now. Little kicks like that by Stewart. Some more defence for the Warriors.
Mullins comes up with the line dropout, and they go back through Luke DeVico, and DeVico, outstanding prospect. He plays it just outside the 20-metre point. Again, they take them on in the centre with John Lomax playing it now, exactly where Canberra's playmaker would want it. Stewart goes over. Daly looks for the run round. Clyde is pulled down a metre from the line. Croker, a dummy half. No, he throws the dummy, goes himself, and then is forced back. Jason Croker plays it back. It goes from Clyde on for Stewart. Daly put himself deep, and then it's with DeVico. He's pulled down 15 metres away from the Warriors line. It's with Stewart now. There's the shot that Peter Sterling was talking about. And the Warriors are saying to the referee, touched in flight.
Field goal to
but
Ricky
Kelvin
Stewart.
Jeffs has no part of it.
Canberra
And a
Raiders,
further point goes on the
7.
Canberra total.
And it wasn't just one Warrior who was claiming that it was touched.
Just
3 or 4
reminding
hands
season
went up
ticket
saying that
prize pack
Stacey
holders.
Jones,
You
in
can pick up
flying
your
through to
prize
try and charge a
from the
kick
security
down,
tower
did
next
get
to
the
the replay
faintest of
screen at the
touches.
conclusion of today's game.
But it was to no avail. 15-8. It may not appear that much on the scoreboard, just the 1 point. But in the Auckland Warriors' head, it has hurt them a great deal, having to score twice now.
Greg Alexander with a kick that he sent along the ground, and Stewart sending John Lomax back almost to the 30-metre line from Ericsson Stadium. We're coming to you tonight. The exclusive league coverage around Australia. Sunday, Cronulla and the Roosters at Caltex in Sunday night football. Next Friday, we go to Newcastle, and here's a bus for Canberra. And it's Ruben Wiki who's 25 metres out from the line. Canberra, they got their arms in the air. They're right across the park. They all want a part of it. Stewart, he puts the kick over. It's a race between he and John Kerwin.
The idea from Ricky Stewart was very good. It was unfortunate for the Canberra half that he had to kick a fair way before getting towards the defensive line. I've got to give this man, John Kerwin, a rap for tonight. He is learning this game. This was the break set up by Brad Clyde on the far side, sending Wiki away. And the gaps that Thornton pointed out really starting to appear in this defence for the Warriors.
You're right about Kerwin. He's put his hand up on many occasions with some of the better-known forwards who decided to have a rest. He's had a very good game tonight.
Just outside 17 minutes remaining in the game.
Just back on Kerwin too, Fatty. One of the most difficult things for a winger to do is to know when to be up and when to drop back. And he's been very good there as Jones looks for some space, doesn't get the bounce, cleaned up by Nagus.
Yes, an early chance taken there by Jones early in the tackle count. The Auckland attack now really lacking the punch that it had in the first half. The forwards don't seem to be running as hard. They're more content to offload. Canberra just getting better as the game goes on.
Davico on that 40-metre line. The Warriors end of the park. Lomax, relatively clean jumper. And then Daly tries to combine and put on some fancy work with Mullins. A half a chance for the Warriors. The referee gets in the road. And it's out with Rapati. He's tackled inside the 30-metre line. And now a penalty goes to Auckland. Penalty doesn't surprise me because Kelvin Jeff would
Ladies
know.
and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you could remain seated at the conclusion of today's
Interfered
match,
with the play, interfered with the progress of the Warriors.
The game, if you can just stay with us.
He daren't not put a scrum down because under the rules he would have had to give the feed to Canberra. Crazy, I know. Now it's Dennis Betts. And now Namu. Namu is 38 metres away from the Canberra line. They come on the blind side, but they're outnumbered. Blackmore. Eru, it goes over, and Betts is there, but there's a lot of zip gone out of it. I hope it comes back. Jones floats the pass, scooped up by Kerwin. Kerwin! Big and mobile. 18 out from the Canberra line. Looks to see that everybody's ready. That took a bit of sting out of the attack. It's on the bounce for Dean Bell. They've got the numbers. They've got the numbers. Hoppy gets it away. Blackmore, he puts it on the ground. And a chance goes begging.
So close for the Warriors. That man Hoppy again. He nearly got there.
Nandruku.
Great tackle, Brett Mullins. Dean Bell did very, very well out here, picking up the loose ball, finding Hoppy, and here's Mullins, picks him up, drives him back, and Clyde gets the ball on the ground.
So the Raiders on 4 tackles are beyond the 30-metre line, turning defence into attack. Davico on 5. Away from Nandruku. On for Stewart. He keeps it low. Kerwin, who made a valuable contribution just earlier, is back on his 10-metre line. But the Raiders, through Daly, is down there. And also David Wesley. Namu will be forced to take it away. 5 of them are back there. 5 of them back there to try and take it away. Hoppy links up with the other winger, Kerwin. Giant of a man, just outside the 20-metre line, away from Eru, on and away from Alexander. They go out to a forward running off the pivot. It's Kearney. 66 minutes almost gone. Jones offered a decoy. Bell takes it ahead. He's pulled down. Clyde coming over the top of John Lomax. The Warriors, they need to get down the other end of the park. Pick up 6 and then come back for another 2. Namu on for Kerwin. Kerwin met and put away by Laurie Daly. Daly pops up all over the park. And now Alexander's kick goes down, and it's with Nandruku. He's had an unhappy night in many ways. He saved a try, but he has had a pretty unhappy night with the hands, and it's no shock to see the ball being plugged down into his corner often in the second half. 25 metres away from the Canberra line. And this is Jason Croker. A versatile and valuable player he is. Put him anywhere.
Yeah, surprising if you have a look at the try scorers this year. He's the Canberra's leading try scorer in front of the likes of Mullins and the wingers. So he's had a tremendous season again to follow up the year last year, which probably should have resulted in the Kangaroo Tour.
Lomax plays it on 5, and they come over to the left for the boot of Stewart, and the ball going through the wet patches before it finds Gene Namu, who's pulled off a couple of very big tackles here tonight. I meant to make mention of his tackle on Ruben Wiki. Wiki's a much bigger man than Namu, but he took him ball and all. He saved a potentially dangerous situation. There's the 40-metre line left behind them as the Warriors press on. Great hands by Hoppy. Turns it inside. Blackmore hasn't got the same touch. Croker comes away with it. Mullins puts his hands in the air.
Yes, if he could have got the ball, I don't think that'd have stopped Brett Mullins down the sideline.
Now Clyde angles play away from the sideline. 20 metres infield, 30 metres away from the Warriors line from Stewart. It's out with Daly. Wesley gave him a decoy. Wiki tried to make the break. He's put down and tackled. They reach the 20-metre line now. This is Lomax, and John Lomax is 10 metres out from the Warriors line. Is it here that Auckland's season really comes to its end?
Well, Stewart's called him to take one more further in. He's looking to do something with Brett Mullins, you would think, as Wesley has tackled right in front of the posts. Mullins again just to the inside and left of Stewart.
Walters then finds Stewart. There's the reverse kick. Mullins, he couldn't ground it. He got a hand on it, but he couldn't get it to ground.
Yes, the old reverse kick play for Brett Mullins. They scored many, many tries off that one. On that occasion, Mullins just couldn't get it.
Sorry, it just sounded like Maxwell Smart.
Yes.
Was there a knock on, a dummy half? The referee says no knock on. It was struck by Canberra, and he's nullified the tackle count. 15 points to 8, Canberra. 69th minute about to go by. A quick run out from dummy half by Eru. He's had a fine game tonight. He's matched it with Steve Walters, although we're told Walters has got that tender shoulder. Jones gets the ball over the top. Rapati on for Kerwin. Kerwin looks inside, takes the tackle of Nandruku. Now from Eru, on through from Jones for Namu. And now they come out and find Dean Bell. This is Blackmore. Hoppy on Nagus. Hoppy steps inside, 2 of them, including Brad Clyde, loses the ball, and the crowd, they appeal for a high tackle.
I didn't see any drama with that one. Looked like the tackler just grabbed the jersey as Nagus slips over from dummy half. Tremendous half volley on the other side of the field from Stacey Jones, and how good the number 7 for the Warriors is going to be. I just think it was a grab around the jersey.
These two wingers for Auckland have nearly been their best players tonight, haven't they? John Kerwin, they've really used him up, especially this second half. He's done a welter of work, and so has Sean Hoppy. He's beaten 2 and 3 every time he's touched the ball. Steve Walters gets a rest.
Number 12, David Ferner coming on for the Canberra Raiders, replacing number 9, Steve Walters.
Nine minutes of the match remaining now. As Canberra, with Lomax tackled 40 metres out
Warriors,
from the
number
Warriors.
27, Phil Blake.
You see David Ferner slotting into dummy half now. He came on for Steve Walters. He's just made the mistake there, but you would assume he will go into the hooking role.
So, with a scrum to form, we'll break and be back with you in just a moment. 15-8 Canberra. Canberra by 7 at Ericsson Stadium, a ground that not a lot of clubs like coming to. It's starting to get that ANZ or Lang Park feeling. Marathon Stadium, even Penrith Park in more years gone by. But it's become less than a joyous occasion to visit them here. They're always tough to beat. Canberra's got them at the moment. 40 metres out from the Canberra line. Andy Platt plays it. The Great Britain forward. Jones is with it. Now for Alexander. Alexander turns it into the centre where Stephen Kearney has been always present and probing. 38 metres away from the Canberra line. Bell goes on through 2 sets of hands. Then Alexander running across the ground, tries to outnumber them. Blake is with it, and he's 28 metres away as Kerwin unloads. He had the call from Alexander, something that you don't deny. The kick into the air, and Mullins, beautiful fullback, isn't he? He just keeps his eye on the ball. He's under pressure.
We haven't seen the running game from Mullins tonight. It hasn't been that kind of match for him, but every question he's been asked, especially with the high kick and tackles that save tries, he's been able to come up with the right answer for. It's been a very polished display, a side that sometimes he doesn't get the raps for. We all know that he can run 100 in even time and beat the best defences.
Ladies and gentlemen, the
safe.
Warriors would like to make a tribute to the
number
team
one shirt
and
as
to
well.
all of you, our loyal supporters during the season.
David
Completion of
Furner
today's match.
almost to the
So
halfway
if you can
line.
remain seated at the end of the
Well,
match,
now not only the
I'm sure the players
scoreboard
will
is
enjoy that.
against them, but the timepiece has become a bigger enemy for Auckland. They're down by 7, and there's one of the destroyers. Daly just giving the indication, slow it down, keep it nice and safe. One gets the impression, Peter, watching the caution with which Canberra's played this game, that they don't want Auckland in the quarterfinals.
I don't think any team wants Auckland there. You have a look through their lineup on paper, they're a tremendous looking side. The one thing the Warriors have struggled to do this year is to beat the top sides, and that's continued again tonight. But they've done very well in their first year. You have a look at the reserve grade side, a lot of the players that John Mooney started with in the top side are now back in the twos.
Please
It's
remember
taken
to
a while
stay off of the field at the
determine
completion
his
of the
best
match.
team. The Englishmen arrived
Your
late, of
openness
course.
matter
They've
is
lost
greatly
Bodyger and
appreciated.
Tutupu,
And
two
the
big
North Harbour
losses.
Tavern bus
So they've had some disruptions.
will be in Station Road opposite the Shell.
But this has been a great test for Canberra tonight. They've had a few easy games against South Sydney and the Gold Coast, and they came here probably, you could say, short of a run against a top side in Auckland who haven't given up, and Canberra have had to work very, very hard to control Auckland here tonight.
So Auckland have got 5.5 minutes to try and do something. A converted try would set us up for a great finish. Again, it comes away off the knee of Nandruku. Mullins incredibly was in position. Stacey Jones was coming down the ground. It was a half chance for Auckland. Wesley plays it. Andy Platt goes back to the bench.
Nokasini on in 24 for the Warriors. Not long to go now, but he'll stiffen them up, that's for sure. That's him
Change for the Warriors.
making the tackle on DeVico
Number 10,
down
Andy
low.
Platt off. At height throw, Wakasini takes the
Hetherington
field.
in the line. Then John Lomax taken by Chumavave as they come back across to the left. And again, DeVico. He must be taking the same stuff as Bradley Clyde, DeVico. He is a real worker. In fact, Tim Sheens is blessed with players that just never stop. Here's a chance. Daly! It'll have to sit up to give him the time. It doesn't. Daly was looking for his third.
He's had a great game tonight, Laurie Daly. 21 tackles, been involved in all of their tries. Toes this one through. He was looking at another involvement in a try, probably his third. The ball just got away from him.
He might have made 21 tackles out there, but some of the tackles that he hasn't made, but the position he's put his body has been very important for Canberra as well. At times he's rushed up when the opposition looked like getting an overlap. That stopped it from happening, and really his perception of the game has been great tonight. He's been exactly where he's needed to be, exactly the right time.
This is Dean Bell losing it, and Bradley Clyde for Canberra thinks about setting Canberra on the path to attack the Auckland line once again. Hetherington's able to stand and offload for Furner to carry it ahead, and one-hander off for Pongia. He puts on a fend, and now it will be Pongia to play it. 3 times proves it for Auckland. 3 players they tried to stop, and eventually they succeeded. Hetherington is 40 metres out from the Auckland line. Ansett Australia, we thank them on behalf of the man of the match, $1,000 from them each and every Friday night. One of the world's great airlines as Clyde plays it 35 metres away, and now it's with Pongia, who was split open early in the game. A head clash, accidental head clash, saw 5 stitches inserted in the Kiwis' head as Daly goes for a drop goal of his own, hits the crossbar, or not the crossbar, the upright, and Jean Namu stayed alive and has been able to take it back outside the 20-metre line. They've hit him with everything, and David Furner got a big shot on him. Now Sean Hoppy. Back into the centre. Chiomavavi on for Alexander. .30-metre line below them. Dennis Betts slowly to his feet. Jones scurries out. The impact of the tackle forces the ball loose. We're in the dying seconds of the game now as they go across to the right for Stewart to hold it back and then tries to sprint through the gap himself. Now with Daly, and then Ferner angling back to where they played the ball, and Wesley is confronted by a don't argue tackle, but then is able to break away from it.
Please make your way there
just inside the 20-metre line. The Warriors appearing as though victory is gone, getting ever so much tighter in the dying seconds of this game. These last two 10-minute stanzas as Daly goes across, and then away from Pongia for Wiki, who tries to struggle away from the Dennis Betts tackle. Now they're 10 metres out and Pongia comes across for Daly. And Daly off the left foot twice. He's within 3 metres of the line. The last tackle forced back down again for a second. Now for Ferner. Ferner tries to roll it in. Jones tries to bring it back. And that'll be a line dropout. Good work by Quentin Pongia.
Pongia's been marvellous tonight. Really worked the place down, getting there. The little halfback Jones cleaning up.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain seated until the completion of the
him.
game. There's a special dedication at the end of this match.
Really been impressed by his performance tonight. All the tough stuff. The smart little kick-off there from the Warriors. With a minute to go, they get possession, so they'll just about wind the clock down with this set.
This is Richie Blackmore. Gets the call inside. Namu strides out. Gets away from Mullins. Off the ground, not held, that's legal. Chiomavavi is on the halfway line. He takes the tackle. 40 seconds of the game remaining. The Warriors down by 7. As Okasini is taken by Hetherington. Half a minute of the game remaining, and Auckland are going to need a miracle to occur next weekend to keep them in quarter-final contention. Daly making the tackle over there on Phil Blake. Now the Warriors come across the ground to a very flat back line. Kearney inside. Jones, and Stacey Jones is held with only 6 seconds left on the clock. 5 tackles. The Warriors with Phil Blake pushing it wide. Hoppy looks for his second try. The ball went forward and the scrum will not have time to form. Kelvin Jeffs calls time, and Canberra, in controversial circumstances, has almost certainly put Auckland out of the race for the Winfield Cup quarterfinals. Canberra 15, Auckland 8, in front of a capacity crowd here at Ericsson Stadium tonight.
Please do not run onto the field.
Kelvin Jeffs will not be the most popular man as he leaves the ground. Ricky Stewart, he and Canberra realise that they have just, and I keep saying in all probability, disposed of a team that could have been a very strong threat in any quarter-final series.